Hello, Soul Family. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. And I have I said two of one of my, but two of my favorite soul sisters here tonight. We have Real World Chrissy that's going to come on at around 8:30ish. But now we have the one and only Gypsy Mama here tonight. And I'm very, very excited
Yeah,
because I have her all to myself for the first half hour, and we have so much to talk about. How are you, my gypsy mama?
I'm doing really good. I'm so excited to be back on with you and join Chrissy later on in a little bit here.
Awesome. So let's get to the nitty gritty. One of the, you know, First and foremost, I have to say that Gypsy Mama you are liquid love and you are phenomenal. Okay. So way back a year ago, when I first started my channel and no one really knew me, Gypsy Mama was one of the first people to have me on her show. Okay. So I just want to say I love you, Gypsy Mama. I'm so happy you're still a part of my life. You are such a phenomenal soul sister. I love you so much. And I'm so thankful to have you and my soul sister Chrissy in my life.
Oh,
And I'm so excited to hear about your spiritual journey that you've been with and what you've been up to. We haven't been on, I mean, we were on with Chrissy, but you were really busy. You were moving. You've had so much going on the past 6 months. So tell us what you've been up to. And also tell us, we're going to talk about a very unique and special ceremony that you had with incorporated ayahuasca,
mm.
which is a spiritual ceremony. So we're going to get into that. So tell me what you've been through, been going on the last 6 months and because I know you've done also a lot of more, you've added more spiritual services to your website and what you've been doing. So what you've been up to, Gypsy Mama?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you too for having me back on your show. And just anytime we get to connect, it's such a beautiful experience. And it doesn't happen enough, that's for sure.
I know we get
So,
so busy.
yeah, so I appreciate it so much. And I just have so much love and gratitude for both you and Chrissy. So
Oh,
yeah, the last 6 months have been a whirlwind. Like so much has happened. It really all started this summer. I was part of a collab with two other women. We did a women's festival, and that was like transformative. There was so much that went into that, and then it was literally like leaving that festival was just the universe was just like, poof, like, are you ready for all this stuff? And it was like, so my partner and I had just found a place outside of the city, which I've been trying to get out of the city for so long. Like I just needed to be in a smaller town. Even still, like I still want to be on an acreage, like fully out of the city. But the little town that we're in is a place that I wanted to live in for like 7 years. I've been trying to get out here, and it just like all aligned one day. That happened before the festival, but it was like we got the keys to this place the weekend of the festival, so I wasn't able to move in
mhm.
until after. But so it was like festival ends, we're 3.5 hours away, my vehicle breaks down on the way back from the festival. So it's just like all these things start happening, right? Just all these like initiations, right? And so yeah, just so much from that was a whole experience of like the moving into this place. His vehicle then had issues breaking down, flat tires, all these different things. So now we're like living outside of the city. We have two broken down vehicles.
Oh my God.
The place that we moved into landed out having like bed bugs. Like it was literally like the height of shit that you could be in. We were
My
in. It's like it definitely put our whole like relationship and everything to the test. And
for sure.
I've said this a couple of times, like there's no way if I was with anybody else, there's no way we would still be together.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with for sure, honey. Wow.
It was intense. Like I've definitely never experienced, and then like with the whole this house, like having to be heat treated, all this stuff had to be done to it. And so all of our stuff was like outside. And then we had like three massive storms. So a ton of our stuff got destroyed. It was, yeah, just like so
Oh,
much stuff. But up until like, so all that we had planned, my partner and I to go to an ayahuasca ceremony. It was a 4-day ceremony that was happening the middle of September. And yeah, it was just like, I feel like the moment that I said yes to it, ayahuasca started working in my life. Like there was just so
oh,
many things of like, are you really ready for this? How deep are you willing to go into your healing? And then yeah, I just remember being like, I need to be settled in this house before I go on something like that. And it totally lined up. Like it was basically the beginning of September where I finally felt like this was starting to feel like a home, and we were getting our stuff in, and we were kind of like out of the shithole of just like everything that had been thrown on us. And yeah, and then it was like you start a dieta. So there's a really I don't know if you call it like strict, but like it's super important. And I didn't even realize until now that I've been through um the whole ceremony and even diving deeper of just how important that dieta is, and like sticking to it, and what you're doing. You're actually giving up a part of yourself as like a gift to creator and to the plant, because the ayahuasca plant spirit is just so powerful. And by giving up all these different things, so there's different foods, like no salt, no sugar, pretty much like no sauces. You're eating very bland diet, no red meats, no no coffee, no, like, well, we didn't do any breads. And um you pretty much go off of like all social media, which was actually really nice. Like that part of it, I really enjoyed that cleanse of like
mm-hmm,
just totally cleansing. Like I went off of like everything. I didn't do YouTube, other than I still would do a few meditations. But
mm-hmm,
you really have to watch like within this time, what you're taking in. So music, movies, everything, even like really adjusting your temperature in any way. So, um, you know, not doing anything that's really going to change your temperature, as well as like no sexual activity of any kind. So it's like a very strict diet.
yeah, no fun at all.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's 2 weeks leading up. And then obviously the whole time that you're there, and then an additional like week afterward to integrate back in. And I had been called to ayahuasca. It's been about like a year and a half before I finally found somebody that I wanted to sit with. Like I was trying, like I had heard about it like a while ago, and was, when I first heard about it, I was like, there's no way, I'm so not ready for something like this. And then
Yeah,
it kept coming up. You know how things like
yeah,
the universe just shows you things, right? And
right.
it just keep coming up and coming up. And I just was really, I knew deep down that it was so important of who you sat with for your ayahuasquero, so your shaman, or who's doing the actual ceremony. I knew that that was like a really, really important thing. And my partner had actually sat with him in May. I think it was May that or when was it? June? And in the summer, like earlier in the summer, he had
Mhm,
sat with him. And yeah, so he told me about him, and I, researched more. He, trained with the Shipibo tribe in the jungle for 10 years. His
mhm.
lineage, like the lineage goes back. Like, so like a true, like after sitting with him, and I don't know if I could ever sit with anybody else. Like, he's a true healer, that's for sure. And yeah, so at first it was like, oh, I don't know. I had to, for myself, it had to be like a 100% yes. So I sat with it for a while, and then it was like, yeah, that yes came of like, this is who I want to sit with. So yeah, we came up to September, and we went on this journey together, which I'm so thankful that we were on the journey together as well, because it's intense. Like, I'm
I can
not gonna,
imagine.
like, there's still, like, I feel like I'm still integrating from it. There's still things, that come up. She still works in our lives with, there's just e I actually, so the week after, coming back, the medicine was still working very strongly with me. I would wake up at night and, like, feel like I was still, like, right there in ceremony. And I think part of it had to do with the very last night. I didn't purge that night, because you do a lot of purging. You'll do, like, purging, throwing up. It comes out both ways. Like, you are letting go of, like, intense, like, whether it be, like, spirits inside of you, traumas, like, she goes really, really deep. So it's very deep work, and the last night I didn't purge, and I feel like that was a part of why for a full week afterwards, I was, like, nauseous, and just, like, all this stuff was, like, really happening, and it wasn't until, like, the Friday night after, I was in my room upstairs, and my partner started drumming downstairs just on his drum, and then all of a sudden it was like I was able to, like, bring up that purge. It just, like, brought everything back. Um, yeah, I don't like it's so hard to know where to start with the whole experience. Like, I guess, like I said, whoever is leading the ceremony, like your ayahuasquero, is so, so, so important. Like,
Right.
if ayahuasca is calling to you, then that's something, um, that right in its own is super powerful. But knowing who you're sitting with, like, who have they trained with, how long have they trained, where is the medicine coming from, how is it, prepared, like, all of these things are just so,
Mhm.
so, so important. um,
Yeah.
and this shaman, he actually lives in BC, so here in Canada where I am. But he, also originally, like, he started out in, sweat lodges and then sun dances. And so he has a lot of, like, connection to, the Dakotas. And so he brings that into ceremony as well. Um, as well as, like, part of the ayahuasca ceremony is the Icaros, which is, it's songs, but they're so much more than songs. Which are passed down from the lineage of his, um, teacher that he would have learned from, which he learned from, which he learned from. And the Icaros work with, the medicine, with grandmother. Is She is the grandmother of all the plants. And it's so intense that, when he starts, like, singing, and it's just, you can just feel the medicine. There's just times where it's like my body's moving in all these different ways, and, like, you don't have control of it, right? And we kind of talked a little bit at the beginning of, like, that letting go of that control,
Yes. Right.
which
That's
is,
the point of it. Right.
yeah, and that was a hard thing for me. Like, I feel like I still really tried to hang on to a lot of control. The second night was my night where I did let go more of, like, the control, which was my most intense night. Like, the most intense of, like, seeing different things. Everything would come on, like, before it started, before the medicine would come on, I would hear, like, different tones. So, like, these tones would come into my ear, and you're in darkness, so it's, like, pure darkness. Um Yeah, he would start his Icaros, and then
Mhm.
just, like, this tone would come, and then all of a sudden it's like I was, like, seeing different fractals and colors and geometrics, and then it would just be, like, so intense for me, because 'cause I'm just like, I like we said talked about earlier too, like I also haven't other than like, smoking weed and mushrooms, I haven't dabbled in pretty much any psychedelics other than that. So, um that was really intense for me, just that whole like experience of like, holy shit. And I would like somehow, I don't know how, I would like bring myself back, but every time I'd bring myself back, it would be like a huge purge would just come then.
Mhm.
And that was the night that it felt like it was just like at one after another. Like it would just I would purge and then it'd come back up and it would be like start again. I was just like, whoa,
Wow.
this is so intense.
Yeah. I can't I you know, I've done research on it and I've watched so many, you videos on it and programs on it. And the thing is, like you said, you have to make sure from what I've read, what I know about it, is that you do have to make sure that you have somebody that knows what they're doing. And I'm so glad because usually you have to go to like somewhere in South America, somewhere to get it because the way the plants, because it's all plant based. And because DMT, the main thing in it is DMT, which I can't pronounce, dimethyl, whatever. It's
Yeah,
basically the spirit molecule, right?
yeah.
Right, Yvonne? Yeah. And it's in every living thing, right?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. And we have it in our brain, and so DMT is what the main ingredient. But
Mhm.
the reason why that you need to make sure that you have someone guide you is because when you're in that state, you're on the astral, and so you could go have almost like, how you say a bad trip. You could have a bad trip, so you have to make sure that you have somebody there that guides you, very, very spiritually attuned, knows what they're doing, because you can meet some really bad, you could get a bad trip, get some bad entities, demons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
so, so tell me a little bit
yeah.
about.
100%. And like another part of it is to which I didn't even know about until
Hmm.
getting there.
Hmm.
But the mapacho, which is a sacred tobacco, is a big
Hmm.
part of the ceremony as well, of cleansing any spirits and negativity. So that's all part of the
Hmm.
ceremony, and it's being used
Wow.
throughout. Um, it's obviously nothing like the tobacco that we know of,
Yeah.
that the altars are, tobacco is another very, very sacred plant.
Hmm.
Um, that is why it's been, turned in the way that it has been turned, so that people don't use it in the way that it's supposed to, which I mean,
Right.
obviously the Native Americans do still use it and know the power of the tobacco. But that is a really big part of it, as well as uh, this the shaman that did it. He actually works with somebody that he's got a helper with him, which was phenomenal. I don't even know how, because the thing is that they too drink the medicine, so they're also taking the medicine while they're all part of the ceremony. And
Funny
like,
things. God bless them.
oh, I'm just like, I don't even know how. Like, because the thing, like with his helper too, like he always knew when somebody needed him. Like he would just show up there, and just this like calm spirit of just like, I'm safe and I'm here to guide you back, right? Because yeah, I remember that second night where it was just so intense. And one of the times when I was coming back from the bathroom and I stepped outside for a little bit because I was like, "Oh, I just need some fresh air." And then it was
Yeah.
like, I remember stepping outside and it was like everything was just like all the lights and everything, like the stars. It was just like I was like, "I don't even know where I am." Right? It was just so
Wow.
crazy. And then it was like I got really cold. So I
Hmm.
go back in, and it was so funny because I'm like opening the door, and I didn't realize that he was on the other side opening the door for me. So here I am just like fully in the medicine, and I'm like opening the door thinking I'm going into this like hole of like nothingness, 'cause it's just the door's just like going with me. And then he's just there, right? And I was just like, oh, and he's just checking on you, seeing how you're doing. And he's like, let's go back in. And a lot of times, the spirit of ayahuasca will show up as a snake. or an anaconda. Like that's, and I remember, so he asked me to come back into where we were having the ceremony. And at first I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stay here for a bit, like, or maybe I'll go over here." And he's like, "It's, the medicine's in here, like this is where we need to go." And I remember looking over and like seeing like a big black snake just like curled up right outside the door. And I just knew, I was like, there's the medicine, right? Like,
Wow.
and yeah, just in his amazing gentleness was able to like guide me back to my spot, back to my bucket. And yeah, it was just, it's hard to explain all parts of it because just so much happened. But that night, like that was the night that I experienced the most. And it's not always like how you mentioned too, like grandmother ayahuasca knows exactly where you need to go. What you're
Mhm.
ready to heal, what darkness you're ready to go into. So not everybody has, this magical, beautiful experience, right? Like it can get really dark. A lot of times people will see um their death, right? To take
Wow.
you into that place of like overcoming your fear of death, right? So yeah, I don't want people thinking it's just this like magical, like rainbows and
Mhm.
unicorns and all these different things. Like it can be that, but it's super intense. But yeah, that night before everything started, I just remember when the medicine first started coming on,
Mhm.
I just felt everything in my body just like it wasn't melting away. I have a hard time explaining this part of it. It was almost like my body turned into like fractals. And then all
Wow.
of a sudden I was like, just I was nothing, but I was a part of everything, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
it it was the most connected to source, to creator that I've ever felt, and I just felt that love for everybody and everything, and I just realized in that moment, even though I know that we're all connected, it was in that
Mhm.
moment that I really felt it, and it was like, I could just feel that it was like, "This is what we are." So I don't know if it was, like, maybe going into my spirit self or what it
Mhm.
was. I have a really hard time trying to, like, put that into words.
Yeah.
I don't do it justice, that's for sure. Yeah, it was that part was and then that's after that, everything just kinda, like, started of, like, the tones and all the fractals and
That's amazing. So what would you say would be the reason why you did it? Or I know that a lot of people do it for I know a lot of people do it for PTSD, and there are people that have severe addictions. They actually do it in a really it's like people that have like try to give up heavy duty drugs, heroin or cocaine or heavy any type of, alcoholism or really hard heavy duty drugs that are poison.
Mhm.
I know that helps. It does miracles. It helps with PTSD. So what would you say is the reason why like you did it? And what do you think so far? Because I know you said that you're integrating. What do you think so far you got out of it? And we have Chrissy in the bullpen. Chrissy, will bring you in about 5 minutes. I want to hear this from Yvonne, and then I'll bring Chrissy in. But this is so intriguing to me. First and foremost, I want to say you are so ballsy, Gypsymama. People think that I got balls, but man, I couldn't do it. I'd be afraid. I
Oh,
smoke weed, but
I definitely was afraid. Like, the first night was the night that I was just I was surprised how, like, calm I was the first night going in, but then after that, every day after, it was like, I was just like, "Am I" and the first night, actually,
Mhm.
I remember this part of it being, like, fully in the medicine and being like, what the hell did I sign myself up for? There is no way that I am doing this another 3 nights. Like, this is so fucking intense. And yeah, I was just like, nope, there's no way. But it's so like the question that you asked is such a great question. And for me, I just really wanted to deeper like my healing journey and just to go deeper into like remembering more about who I truly am, why I'm here, being able to get rid of, you know, any blockages or things that, you know, that I maybe have that are preventing that from happening. And like I said, ayahuasca, she had been calling to me for a while. I had to find that right ayahuasca to be able to work with. Because
Right.
it just it is like you said, like you are opening yourself up, and you have to be so sure that you are surrounded by people who are there to truly take care of you and know what they're doing and know how deep this medicine can take you.
Right, that you're protected. And I'm sure that they call in all of the spirit guides and all the angels to protect you in spirit for sure. So you
Yeah.
have both physical and divine protection.
Yeah, and that was like I the whole time, every single night, I was always in constant communion. Like, I just remember
Yep,
repeating over and over again, like, I am divinely protected and loved. Like, I would just say all these things, like, in love and gratitude. Like, um, I think it was the 3rd night where I actually felt, like grandmother ayahuasca, like, I felt like
mhm,
a figure of a grandmother just being there and just, you know, arms open, like, "Come to me," and I just felt so safe and so protected, but, you know,
that's
you're
awesome.
hearing everybody else, like, having their experience, and the first night was so hard for me to, because I've never done good with hearing people purging. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I just remember, like, the
it's
first
not
night,
fun.
I was just like
Bring people wretch, you know.
oh, yeah, and, like, I mean, it's intense, like, it's not just, like, a little purge that you're having, like,
Yeah, it's
it's
like
getting
projectile.
yeah, it's getting spirits out of you, it's getting like, it's getting deep down, so it was I just yeah, the first night, I just remember being like, I really wanted to hear the Icaros, but it was like at the
Yeah,
same time, it was so intense to hear that the people purging and going through, you know, crying and just whatever they were going through. But then the second night when I felt that oneness, that's when I don't want you on the screen. Sorry. Here, you come down here. I don't want you on the screen. Okay, you sit with me here. Sit with me here. Sorry.
it's okay.
I want you on the screen, honey. Okay. Um.
So cute.
So it was when I felt that oneness that I truly was able to understand at that point and have so much gratitude for everybody's, you know, hearing them go through like all
Mhm.
the purging and crying and all that. And it was just, I was just so thankful to them for all the work that they were willing to do as part of their healing journey. I don't want you on the screen. You can snuggle with me this way. No.
Awesome. I'm gonna bring Chrissy in now.
Okay.
Here we go. Chrissy, are you ready, honey? I'm bringing you in.
Yep,
Hey,
I'm
there
ready.
she is.
Hi. How's it going?
And Yvonne has a dinosaur with her.
Hi,
Yeah.
Yvonne.
Hello.
How are you? She's
Yeah. Go ahead.
she's got Jurassic
Being
Park
mama.
going on in there.
She's multitasking as all mothers do.
Yes, I know.
How are you
So,
doing?
I'm doing good. Your story is so fascinating. The thing is I think I'd be scared. I don't think I would do it. You
It,
know,
yeah, that's what I say too. I'm a wimp when it comes to that stuff. I
because I
like
think
we were speaking about you have to really be willing to lose control, and I have OCD, so I don't know if I could do that.
you're not gonna do.
that was
It
the biggest thing I felt like that that she was really trying to work with me and teach me
Yeah.
on, like, it's okay to let go. But I still, like, other than that second night, I felt like the third and the fourth night I was back to kind of like trying to control it and just trying to like
Yeah.
be that like control. But she does the work. She knows exactly what you're willing to handle and where she's
Mhm.
gonna take you. So
But it's just kind of like, I know, I mean, like, I have a hard time letting go, any kind of relinquish control too. That's just like, because that would be just totally trusting in the process and in the experience. Like, I always keep saying, especially lately, live in the moment. But something like that is so difficult. Like, I just don't know if I could do it. I mean, I think I need to evolve way more than I would before I would try it.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
amazing that you even did it. I mean,
I know.
I just
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's all about. So would you say that, because I know, okay, let's see, the reason why I love using cannabis, all right, because everyone knows I'm a big cannabis component, because I feel that anything that's natural, any kind of plant-based medicine, and ayahuasca is totally plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that anything from nature is from God. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that when I smoke weed or when I use cannabis, it would take me months and not months, but like an hour's worth of meditation. Where I smoke, I'm right there.
Yeah.
So Yvonne, would you say that the ayahuasca, the reason that it works and what's so effective about it healing, like healing any kind of trauma, stress, PTSD, or any type of addiction, is because it strips you of your ego, and you kind of have like, it's almost like you're going through a full egoic death. Is that what it is?
yeah,
Okay.
it's such a strong spirit. Like, she has such a strong spirit. And it's like nothing else I've ever experienced before in my life. Like, I don't think I'll ever experience anything like that again. And I, even when you mentioned like the weed, like I haven't even gone back to smoking weed since, because this was something I didn't realize, but weed is another master plant, which is, there's different types of plants, and there's master plants that you can work with, all different types of plants for different types of healing. And it was the shaman that had talked about things like weed, which is another master plant. So once you connect to that, you kind of lose your connection to ayahuasca, because master plants like to kind of take over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Okay.
another reason why the dietas are so important, because you're
Yeah.
really like connecting to that plant and letting go of
Yeah.
what can
Mm-hmm.
inhibit you. And sorry.
It's okay.
Oh,
Oh,
look
pretty cat.
at Kitty.
Oh yeah, that's one of our newest kitties.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
so
Yeah.
cute.
So I wouldn't have the courage to do it either.
Yeah.
I've I've done a few things. I've tried shrooms, and I've done DMT. I've dropped acid, and I've done a little. I've never seen hallucinogens, like I've never seen like total hallucinations, but you get the floaters, and the things, you're like, ooh. And I remember when I did acid, I tried to write and I couldn't even write, because your brain is totally like, I couldn't even write. I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. Seriously, I tried to write just like from left to right, and I couldn't do it.
Oh my
So,
God.
I mean, so kudos to you. So, Yvonne, I know, like you said, you're still integrating. What do you think it's helped you with so far? Like what? Because I think that I don't know anything about it, but from what you told me, you're still integrating it. So you're going to still, the spiritual effects, it's going to help you heal and probably help with your spirituality ongoing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really great question. I feel like a big part of what she showed me too was
Mm-hmm.
like our connection to everything. So I just feel like even more connected to everything. Like, you guys know how much the trees and nature and all of that I've always, like, I not always, but like for a long time
Mm-hmm.
I've been really connected to, but that's just like amplified. And you
Mm-hmm.
realize the importance of ceremony, right? And how ceremony can really be a part of every day, right? There's it doesn't always have to be a big ceremony, but even
Mm-hmm.
doing offerings, whether it's a water offering or a tobacco offering or a sage offering, all these things are just so, so important. And like the slowing down, like that was a big thing that both the shaman and ayahuasca had shown me, was like, it's, you can be, oh, we lost Christy.
I know. She went to the fifth dimension. She'll be back.
You know, you can be like a good parent and stuff, and I've got my kids home and all that. But just to be like really present, like really here and present in whatever, if with my partner, with with my kids, with whatever I'm doing, if it's a walk out in nature, being really present at that time and just really taking it all in, and just I see so much more of the distractions that are everywhere, right? And it's like I saw
Mm-hmm.
the things before, but I feel like everything's like amplified, right? But just
Yep.
that sacredness of life and all that, Pachamama has given us, like she gives us everything, right? And just how much that we have in us. Like I can feel my life force energy, if I'm praying over my food and giving thanks to it, or my water, or maybe if I'm doing an actual session, like I can feel the energy so much more. I just feel that connection, like it's just been amplified. And she just really showed me love and gratitude. Like that was such a big part of like love and gratitude, and just really being in that joy, like finding that joy. Like so many things at the end of the day really doesn't matter.
Right.
It's like there's just so much shit, right? And it's like, what? Oh, here she is.
Hi. Hi. I was in the fifth dimension and back. I don't know what
I said you went to the fifth dimension and back. So you were saying that you found so much joy, and you're connected more so than ever, huh?
Yeah, just like really finding that slowness, like slowing down and just really finding like the joy, like looking around you, right? And just
Mhm.
really taking it in, and being grateful, and just for connections too, right? Like the people that are in your life are in your life for a reason, right? So whether
Yeah.
they're far away or not, like there's a reason why we're all in each other's lives, right?
Yep, for
It's
sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
there's just
I think no, I was just gonna say I think your experience it's sort of like I know they have like sweat huts and things like that where you would go, you would spend a week at 48 hours or 72 hours in like a sweat hut and you just are completely you're naked and you're just whatever, I don't know what they smoke or whatever, but it would be similar to that is how I'm picturing it, where you're just completely stripped down, and then it's about building yourself back up, I think, in a way to kind of move through life in a different way and experience things richer, more rich, have more rich experience than just because we're so dumbed down over here. I mean, in the 3D and the matrix of what they created for us. And so, we're trying to break free of that and to understand that I mean, we are bigger than just the stupid physical stuff we're seeing, and I think that what you went through is like amazing that you did that, and that you could even try to do that, and I do
Yeah.
think that it has to do with just trying to I think gain another new perspective on how to deal with things moving forward because everything is changing so quickly around here, and there's so much going on. It's so anyway, that was just my 2 cents, and I missed some of the conversation, but anyway,
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to say
My partner and I have gone to a few sweat lodges, and yeah, they in themselves are so transformative,
that. I
and
bet.
they do so much healing, and you see you're just so much more connected, to
Mm-hmm.
Mother Earth, to Father Sky, to realizing what truly is important, and really trying to let go of all the other shit.
Yeah. And it is. Like you said, you realize like what's important.
Mm.
So, how about your psychic abilities? What have you noticed in your spiritual gifts now, Yvonne? Have they heightened?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I said mostly like in like feeling, like I can really feel my life force energy. Like that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even just sensing more things, or just things like that I feel like I've always really listened to my intuition, like my it's been strong, like ever since I was like young and a new mom and all that. But it's definitely turned up again. Like that's another thing that's kind of like been turned up, of your intuition, and just really listening to that. And um just yeah, it's after coming back, you feel, well, it's hard. Like it really is hard coming back and then going into like
Mm-hmm.
the 3D life. Like
Yeah.
I highly suggest that if you are able to, if you go on an ayahuasca, ceremony and experience, take a week afterwards to be able to integrate it. At least a week, because it is, you just have gone through so much, right? And you are in whole nother dimensions and levels, and
Mm-hmm.
going right back into the 3D was really hard.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And
Well,
I
I
still
like when it.
find it. Like I still find going into the city, like I feel energies so much more. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
before I always could feel energies, but now I feel like it's even more, like I just really feel them. It's like I really, really understand. Like I understood before, but it's like now I really get it, like the protection and the clearing and like all of that, and why that's so so important. Because I can feel it. Like I feel when I go into the city, like I can feel when I that that area just around the city, even where it's like, oh, I'm almost at the city, and you can just, it's a whole nother feeling. You've got all that
Yeah.
5G towers and all of it, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
how I get when I go to Seattle. It's just like, oh my god, because out here, it's very much lighter out here on the Washington coast. But when the minute I get to Olympia, it's like this oppression that just globs onto me. I'm just like, and you feel just the negativity is so strong, especially, I mean, Seattle's a shit show over here, and I every time I come home, I'm like so excited. The minute I cross my county line, it all lifts, and I feel more lighter, and I feel like, okay, now I can breathe.
yeah,
But when you're in that spot where you're just like, you just feel like you can't even breathe. I mean, I understand that feeling, and I think too, for me, I think the reason that, I mean, God put me out here for a reason, because I was living in downtown Seattle at the time. And then I just happened to find this place in the Boondocks, which I'd never been out here before, mind you. Never in my life had I been out here before. And then I find this place and I'm out here. And I do think the water also really it's a soothing thing. And for me, I mean, just even to just go and look at it, but to even be able to walk down to the beach and be able to be there in this big, vast, look at the vastness of it and understand how insignificant we really are in the grand scheme. When you look at it that way with everything going on. And anyway, it's just I do think there's a reason for everything, and then finding you guys, and it's about, I think, evolving, but also trying to, I think, move forward in like a higher level of frequency, and just kind of appreciating life more and the people that are in your life more.
totally. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even just like the solitude, like I find
Yeah.
even more, I just, it's like I don't want to do things, like, and it's not
Yeah.
that I don't want to be, well, like, part of it is I don't want to be around people, but even if it's good people, like it's just a lot, right? It's energies
Yeah.
are a lot, and you just realize that more. And uh, for the first time we went out on the weekend, there was like one of the DJs that we really like. It was his birthday, so he was doing a set. And it was like, it was really good. Like when he was playing, really good vibe, all that, we put up our protection around us.
Yeah.
And then it was like the next DJ came on and just the whole energy in the place changed. And we're
Wow.
like, hi.
Yeah. I'm out. See ya.
Totally
It's
fine
true.
going home.
People don't think that's real, but it is. It is very much, you have to sort of go with your intuition too. I mean, if you feel the vibe is not, if you're not feeling it, I'm out of there. I mean, and it's true. I'm very isolating. I've been isolating out here very much, and I'm just actually dealing with a bunch of stuff. If I might have to go and live with my mom, and I'm just freaking out because she's got some health issues, and I really don't. I will go freaking crazy if I have to go over there. That's all I'm saying. If I have to go towards, live near Seattle, and anyway, it'll whatever's meant to be will happen. I'll deal with it. But just the thought of the energies of how it is, it's just so I totally understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I can't do city. Well, I never could do cities, but even more so now.
Yeah.
I just think with the energy is just, I think with the veil being like non-existent now, it's just we're feeling everything, just everything now. So, well, I wanted to get your take. Well, it's not Thanksgiving in Canada, but you had Thanksgiving in October. But Thursday's Thanksgiving, and I wanted to get you your take about. This is a tough time of year, the holidays. A lot of time people, people love the holiday. It's a love. Hey, some people really love the holidays because they like spending time with family. They like the lights, the food, the festivities. But then on the other side, I say it's my busiest time of year when it comes to soul therapy sessions because people are it's very stressful. So, and it's very, puts a spotlight on your life. So what can you say about what would you say how to deal with this week? Like how to deal with this week, and how do you deal with times when you have to be around people and or just dealing with being sad, being down? Like what do you do spiritually? Is there any kind of, besides meditation, is there anything that you suggest doing, or what is it that you do when you're really kind of down, or that you're going to be around some energy or some people, like we're talking about energies that we really don't want to, you don't want their energy to kind of seep into yours. So Yvonne, I'll let you first, and then we'll go to Chrissy. So what advice would you give to people, and what do you do when you're going to have to be around some people that you don't really want to be around?
Yeah, that is such a great question. And first and foremost, I think giving yourself permission to say no. We've grown up in this society of feeling like we have to do things or we have to be a part of things. And really, we don't. And I think that's the more that you get into your solitude and your healing journey, you start to realize that, and you start to realize how important those boundaries are. And there are times like the holidays that are just too much for people, right? And it does take them into like really bad times, right? Because maybe they grew up in a family that wasn't good, or whatever the reason that it's not a good time. It's okay to say no, and do what you need to do. Like they can all still get together and you can have your own, do something for yourself, or just do whatever you need to do, right? If you need to take a bath or do some self-care, or take yourself out and, treat yourself, that's okay, right? Like I feel like, again, society just makes us feel that, it's like that auntie that when you're younger, or that uncle that you were forced to like hug and give a kiss to, and you're just like, no. And it like sit with your feelings. I feel like a lot of times, especially at holidays, that's when the alcohol comes out, or the, other substances. And it's like, try to just sit with those feelings and feel them. Like there can be a balance of that too, right? You don't want to get too stuck in the low times, but in order for you to get through them, you need to go through them. You need to go deep, and you need to be able to feel whatever those things are coming up for a reason. You know, whether it's somebody triggering that for you, or a situation's triggering something, that's for showing up for you so that you can do the work. So you're either gonna dive deep into that, or you're gonna drink it away or smoke it away, or whatever, whatever your means for not dealing with it. But I feel like so many more people are willing to do the work. In order to do the work, though, that pretty much does mean a lot of solitude. Like, that is why the spiritual journey really takes you into a time of deep solitude and loneliness, and you lose so many friends and so many people. But a lot of the people that you lose, they're really not they're not your people, they're not your tribe, they're not there to truly support you. And you see that, right? You do start to really see that, you feel those energies that you're like, I just don't want to be around that. And that's okay. It's okay to not, and to do whatever you need to do. Like, get outside. There's so much healing that can be done outside, with grounding, with connecting with the trees, the animals around us. Really, again, like, really focusing, what animals are coming to you, what animals are you seeing? Standing in the wind and just letting the wind wash through you. Or water is always such an amazing way to cleanse and clear. And there's just do what you feel like you need to do. I think
That's beautiful.
It's the biggest thing, to stop trying to please other people or society in general.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that, Gypsymama. What say you, soul sister Chrissy? Same question.
Well, I think, I'm going through a bunch of crap with my family right now. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the thing that I'm learning, or that I realize, and I'm just kind of like, first of all, you have to understand that you're not going to change a person's perspective of who they think you are. You cannot change that. It isn't. So engaging in a he said, she said, or whatever the situation, whatever the thing is, it just, you have to understand. Well, in my situation, I'm attacked because I was attacked because I live here where I am at 3 hours away from my mother. Like, does that even make any sense? And then but when I'm looking at the whole situation, it's just kind of like, listen, people are always going to think whatever they think for whatever reason. And I'm not going to be able to change their perception. All we can do is change how we react and what we talk about. I mean, the whole thing is like, when, especially politics is very touchy this time, and it's true. Like, if you guys watched Lady D and Jason the other night, I mean, yeah, you don't have to say anything. And when people are asking you, oh, well, what are you doing? Like, it's most of the people in my life, they could give a crap what I'm doing. They just say it just to say it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning, I'm not going to tell anybody anything. Like, just say, oh, I'm doing fine. And you just move on and just keep it I'm keeping everything very superficial at this point. And it's really sad because, family's involved and you don't want, you want to be, but most of us out here, I mean, in the soul tribe, we all have issues. I mean, with a lot of us with our family and our loved ones, and that's why we found each other in a sense. And so, I mean, my suggestion is just to, you got to take the high road, and it's hard. It's not fun. But you're not going to change what people think of you. It is what it is. And, we tell it like it is, and it is what it is,
Right.
and it's sad, but, we just have to just do what makes you feel happy, if that's, not driving 3 hours I mean, I'm not going for Thanksgiving. The only main reason I'm not going is because I'm doing this other thing on Saturday and I have to be here. So, but when people hold that against you, it's like, you're like, dude, I'm just living my life, I mean, I don't know. Right. So, So
Yeah.
that's sort of where I'm at right now with everything. I'm just kind of like, fine, I'll be home by myself. I'm perfectly fine with that, with me and my kitties. And it's supposed to be a decent day, so I'll probably be going down to the beach and just taking it in, and just trying to reset. It's about mindset, resetting your mind, and just like, listen, who you are, where you're at, and you know where you're going.
Mhm.
And that's the beauty of like being able to just say no to some things. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. I mean, just because the whole world is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to stand in your truth and in what you feel you need to do for yourself. And it's not being selfish either, because that's the other thing that I get. A lot of people think that we're being selfish because I'm thinking of myself and not other. That isn't it at all. But you have to have that protection up on some level in some ways.
Right.
So that's I guess that's where I'm at with everything. You just have to kind of just be who you are and don't apologize for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't handle it, then sayonara. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's a tough time of year, and gone are the days where people said, don't speak about religion or politics.
Mhm.
Remember back when we were growing up? Oh,
Yeah.
don't speak of religion
Don't
and
do that.
politics at the table. I wish they would go back to that, to tell you the truth.
Mhm.
Where
I
it would be a
know.
better place. Yeah.
It would be.
So it would be. No, I'm not celebrating either for my own reasons, because my family doesn't my family hates my husband Mike, and he doesn't really care for them either, and I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, because I've noticed that over the past few weeks, with all these timeline shifts,
Mhm.
with the emotions, I just did notice that the last couple of weeks I've been on a roller coaster.
Mhm.
And up until the last couple of weeks, I was always under the impression, and I think all of us were, that if you're feeling a bad emotion, if you're feeling, let's say, depression or anger, that's like right away we have to get rid of it. It's like, oh, I'm feeling this, it's wrong, I shouldn't be feeling this, or I messed up, I did something wrong, and I need to stop the feel. However, I've been getting downloads, and I've been talking to my clients, because I feel that sometimes if we don't feel the emotion and we try to just avoid the emotion, or if we just try to anesthetize the emotion and drink or eat or whatever it is, we never resolve the issue. It maybe we bury it, but it always comes back up. So what would you say to somebody? And again, I'll go. We'll just go to the root. Yvonne, Gypsymama, what would you say to like any of your clients that come to you and they're like, I'm sick of feeling this way. I keep on doing my work. I keep on meditating, praying. I'm doing my ceremonies, and I still come back to these negative feelings. How do I deal with them? And first, how do they deal with them? And second of all, do you think that we should not deal with them, or do you think that we should just feel them and get through them? What would you say, Yvonne?
Mm, that's a big one. Yeah, I believe things are going to continue to come up. They're going to continue to show themselves until we feel them and until we go there, right? Like that, whether it's the dark night of the soul, or there's a reason, right? It's all part of, and I try to look at things now as initiations, you know, and
Mm,
asking, instead of the like, why is this happening to me? What is this showing me? What am I to learn from this? Like at the beginning, when I was telling you about all the shit that happened with the vehicles and
yes.
the house and all that, like it was just, I had to finally come to this space where I was just like, talking to creator and my higher self and just saying like, what am I to learn from this? Like, what am I to do? Like, you just are at this loss, right? And when you're dealing with these things, just like I truly believe that's when you need to go to solitude. and really try to like see, you know, what is this trying to show me? Like, why? There's a reason why this is coming up. There's a reason why, you know, I'm feeling this anger or this depression or whatever it is that the feeling is. And if we don't, you know, work on those, you know, you may not just like, boom, you're like fixed in one weekend of working on yourself. It's a spiral that goes up and that goes down, right? Like once we're on this spiritual journey, it's a continuum of like working and doing the work and things. You start to see things differently, right? And give yourself those moments, like those like pats on the back of like, oh, I didn't react the same way that I normally would have reacted, or that didn't affect me, or, you know, I was able to put up that boundary, or like I'm at a place now where I just won't go around people or go to places that I can't be my true authentic self. If I can't be who I am, I'm not putting energy into that, you know, because it takes
Good for
so much
you.
more energy to be something else, or to fit into this like idea that people have of you, right? Where it's like whatever people think of you means absolutely nothing. That's where they're at on their journey, right? And that's
Right.
you know, it's a power that like it's taking back your power, right? Of that like not caring what other people think of you, because really that has nothing to do with you. And that's again a society thing of us like always worrying about what other people think. And it's like, do what you need to do to be happy, healthy, you know, in love, whatever, you know, all those good things that you want in your life. A big part of it is like stop worrying about what other people think about you, or putting yourself in situations, right? But sometimes we do need to be with people that are going to help us, and that may mean reaching out. Like, don't ever feel like you are not good enough, or you've done, you know, you're doing something wrong. Asking for help, right? That's one of the most powerful things that you can do, is asking for help and going to people that you trust and truly that you can truly be open with. You know, like being able to just hold space for someone is such a blessing. You know, when anybody that's been able to just hold space for me, like where I can just like, you know, talk or cry or whatever, you know, just for somebody to hold space, and not even like, they don't even have to tell me anything or give me advice or do any of that, just to know that somebody is there holding space for you. Um, that's so important to be able to do for somebody. And I feel like, especially men, right? Like they've been taught like for years, for generations, to be strong and not cry and not show emotions and all these things, which is so damaging, right? And I feel like that's a big part of the divine feminine, is us being there and showing them like it is okay. It is okay for you to have these feelings and to break down and to, you know, cry and whatever it is that they need to do, right? Um, yeah, I think that that's just a big part of like, again, finding your tribe, right? Finding those people that you can be truly authentic with and feel safe with.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. And we found our tribe, that's for sure, didn't
Yeah,
we?
for sure. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I always say, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't find this old tribe. They're the family that I choose instead of the family I'm stuck with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think the biggest thing is just have to like, it's the energy that you want to put into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? If you're hitting again, it's like, you know, banging yourself up against a brick wall. If somebody is like, you know, toxic with you, doesn't understand who you are as a person or whatever. I mean, what am I giving my energy for that? Why am I giving my energy exchange with this person who is mired in a 3D mindset of materialistic, you know, you know, just it doesn't do you any good. And the whole idea is that I do believe that there are entities out there now during this time, because the veil is so low, is pretty much gone. And I think that there's a lot of demonic entities and other types of entities, maybe, you know, either benign or neutral or whatever. and they look for those cracks and those crevices in which to keep you mired. It's like they want you to be stuck in this dimension, in this energy, in the matrix. I mean, and that's what I felt. That's what I was like, oh my gosh, when you step back and you look at whatever situation you're going through. And that's pretty much what I really learned over the last couple of days here. And, who do you want in your life? Like, who's giving you have to, the whole idea is like, you put energy out so you can get it back tenfold, right? You put the energy out to see somebody. And if they're not worthy of your energy and your time, why are you bothering? Like, and so that's sort of, I don't know if that even answers your question, but that's sort of, you have to pick and choose who you want to be in your space, to be with your, to exchange your energy with, and to keep you, I think, on even keel. So you are continuing to ascend to your higher self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense, because if you're it's like if the energy that you're around affects you. So if you're around negative, mean people, or mean-spirited people, or people that are, passive aggressive, that definitely affects your energy. So that's one thing you do to get out of the doldrums and to help yourself. No, that answers the question. Absolutely. I just feel that what I know, what's hard for me and hard for others, is just people that continuously do the work, and then they keep on coming to the same feelings, or it's like they work really hard to get rid of these behaviors, and then they fall back on the same behaviors. And my thing is just get back on the horse, because these are programs, right? I mean, we've been programmed since I think we were programmed even when we were in our mommy's belly, right? Because whatever our mom was exposed to and how she was programmed went to the fetus. So absolutely. So it's really hard to not be affected by things and people and places, but it's also, I just feel that we take it more so than the average person. I feel people that are on their spiritual journeys, when we fall off and we're having a bad day, I just feel we take it so personally, and it's if we did something wrong. But sometimes you're just going to have a shitty day, right? No matter what you do. It doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that, that you did something wrong. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you can meditate, you can pray, you can go out and do everything that you need to do. But sometimes it is what it is. So I think that the biggest thing that we can do is just to get back on the horse, right? And not judge ourselves. But why do you think we judge ourselves so much, though? I mean, we know that the world judges us, but if we know better, and we know that we're doing the best we can, why do you think we're so hard on ourselves? And I'm going to start with Chrissy.
Joey's making his debut here.
Hi, Joey. That's so cute.
Every time I sit here, he's like, but I'm sorry, say that. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. Why are we so hard on ourselves?
No.
Like, even those that are in like the spiritual community, when we know, like, why is it that we give other people, maybe I should rephrase it. Why is it that we give other people breaks and are more understanding and caring and gentle on other people than we are on ourselves?
I think it's because we expect more of ourselves, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I think that mainly people, let me think. I don't know. I can't think right now. Sorry. Joey just jumped off my.
Okay.
I kind of think the reason that we give ourselves, we hold ourselves to a higher standard than other people. We allow people to come into our lives and into our energy, and I think that we lower our expectations almost. See, we have for me, I mean, like, I always trying to take the higher road, right? You're always trying to take the higher road with people. And we have to understand that it's not necessary. Like, why are we doing that? Like, why aren't we're trying to give them more higher up. Do you understand? Like they think
Yeah.
that they're
No,
better.
I know what you're saying. Yep.
They're better than us, but we're all the same. I mean, we need to get out of this divisional mindset of, like thinking that, okay, well, it's okay for you to be that way, but I'm not, I'm not going to be that way or whatever. It's just a mindset.
Yep.
It's a way of,
I hear
like,
you.
you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if I said
Yep.
that right, but
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm all over the place tonight, but you know what I mean. I just
do,
feel like
honey.
that we give other people more value than we give ourselves for
Yes.
whatever reason
Yes.
that is, and we're
We
in a
do.
higher, and we're trying to do, we're trying to get to our higher self. I mean, you're trying to, like, rise up to that, but we lower ourselves, we lower our energy down. I mean, anytime I'm dealing with my family, for God's sakes, I mean, I'm in like 2D, not even 3D. You have to lower yourself, and it's hard because you're trying to like keep up, and so then you say, well, okay, I can forgive them, I have to give them grace. Well, no, I don't. Why do I have to give them grace and not myself grace for the way that I feel? You know what I mean? And why is it okay for them to look at have their perceptions of me, and I'm supposed to acquiesce to that, or like be I don't know, be a smaller person than they are? I mean, that's not, it's not the way it is. We're all should be considered equal. It's an ego thing. It's very much an ego thing. And and at some point you have to sort of like cut, like in my situation, I've learned, I mean, I'm just kind of cutting them off, and like I re-listened to Jason and you the other night, and I mean, he's so great at like being able to, I forgive my sister, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my brother was very dismissive of me, very dismissive, very controlling, very just doesn't, thinks of me a certain way. I'm just like, my reaction is just like, well, F you, and who are you, to be treating me like that? Like there's no respect there, lack of respect. Okay. And I don't know how he's able to get to that point where he's like, okay, I can forgive, but I'm not going to be able to forget how I've been treated. So, it's a tough situation. So, I don't know. I just think that we have to value ourselves, because we have value. We are, good. And the thing is, you were talking about, getting in your mind. It's a mindset thing. And I get it. We're you're reminiscing about everything going on. Oh my God. And we just can't take the way the world is right now. I mean, so you have to sort of find your inner peace with it, and then just and know that we can work. You still have to work through your issues, but you can apply your higher self to it. Do you understand? I don't know if that made any sense.
No, it made sense. It made sense. I gotcha. Gypsymama, how do you? Oh no, I forgot the question. What the hell was even the question now?
It was how do you how come you give other people?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. How do you give? Well, yeah. Why do we do that? Because I know we totally do that. It's like we don't give ourselves a break. We'll give someone else a break. And why is it that we won't treat ourselves the way we treat our best friend? Why do you think that is, Yvonne?
I think a lot of that goes back to the conditioning, right? Like even when we talk about like saying things like be selfish and give yourself a day, and it's like, it's not selfish. Like self-care is one of the most important things that you can do, not just for yourself, but for all the people in your life. Being able to care for yourself, because you can't give from an empty cup, right? And yet we're taught that it's like being selfish, like, oh, you're spending a day on yourself, and that's selfish. That's not selfish. That's self-care. And it's like getting out of those conditionings, right? And like Earth School is the hardest school to be on. This is the hardest planet to be. We're not here to like, we're here to do the hard work, right? So there's a reason why we chose to come here, and there's a reason why we're being you know, shown whatever we're being shown. Like, it's not going to be easy, right? And like you talked about, like the forgiveness, like you also need to give yourself that forgiveness, right?
Well, that's true too.
That's
Yeah.
not an easy thing for a lot of people. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not easy to even, like, forgiveness is one of the biggest things. You don't have to forget, right? But
Mhm.
giving that forgiveness is a huge part of your healing journey. But you cannot forget to give yourself that forgiveness, whatever that be, you know? Oh, did we lose? Oh, there she is. Um,
No, I
and
just coughed off the camera.
Oh.
but just being able to like forgive yourself, you know, for whatever it is, right? Like,
Right.
maybe you woke up later to the game than other people and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, or I believe that. Forgive yourself. You now are on this path. And the spiritual journey, it's not an easy journey. There's a reason why a lot of people continue to do this and drink the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, because they don't want to look at themselves and they don't want to do that work because it's fucking hard, you know. And you're
It
gonna
is.
Amen.
down, like I said, that spiral, it goes up and but it goes down, right? And you have to be able to go down. And for a lot of people, they don't want to do that, right? And that's just the reality of it. Like, I think that's why some people are just never going to wake up, because they have to then look at themselves in the mirror, and they can't even
Yeah.
handle the mirrors that we are to each other, right? Everything
Right.
that we see in other people, whether it's something that we love, or, you know, something that we, you know, find beautiful in somebody, or whether it's something that, you know, drives us nuts or angers us or whatever, it's because we are each other's mirrors, right? That's all
Mm-hmm.
side of us. So, you know, whatever I see in you guys that I love so much, that's also in me, and realizing that. But
Right.
also realizing if there's something about somebody that's triggering me or angering me, that's it.
Mhm.
So, like, am I willing to sit with that and to look at that and be like, why am I feeling that right now? Opposed to projecting that, because that's what we do. We're taught
Right.
in society to just project it. And, like, you know, then it's like, oh, you're making me feel this way. Da 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 da. No, you choose to feel the way that you want to choose. How you react to things is on you, whether you want to believe
Right.
that or not. You know, but it's like, looking at yourself is one of the hardest things that you can do, right? Because
Mhm.
Yes.
the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all of it, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
that's why a lot of relationships, especially like, you know, soul connected relationships, those are the relationships that you're going to do your most healing with. You know, like with my partner, like, man, the the shit that we've gone through, or this shit that comes up, is like, it's deep stuff, right? And it's like, when you're with somebody, whether it's like a romantic relationship or friends, or, you know, maybe if you can have that in a family, um those are the relationships that you're going to learn the most from, right? And you can have these amazing times with those people, but if you feel safe enough to go like deep and to do that work, when you're seeing that, right? Like
Mhm.
when you're having all these things come up and it's like, oh wait, I'm gonna actually sit with this and realize that this is my shit, you know? Like, it's
Right.
easy to always just like project onto others or blame others for things, but that's our lesson. That's our time to do the work. But like you said, Delphine, like, it's okay. Like, be gentle on yourself. Like, I feel like um we're in this thing of like, we just have to always be, you know, at this higher vibration, which obviously that is the goal. But we're also here to have a human experience, and part of the human experience is the shit around us, you know. We're in
Yeah.
3D, like,
Yeah.
a lot of things around us, that's shit, you know.
Right.
And we're attacked in so many different ways, so it's like, it's, be okay with that and be gentle with yourself, give yourself that forgiveness. And you know, do little things, you know, find 3 things that you can find in that moment that you're grateful for, and that you can find love for, you know, and that in itself will change the vibration and help bring you out of it, but in a way that you're not just like blocking it. right? You're not going to the food or the sex or the alcohol or the drugs or whatever, you know, like turning it around, transmuting it. Like, how can we change this now? Because again, everything is energy.
Yeah.
So how can we transmute this energy into something else? But also like finding times when you can really sit with it and do the work with it is so important, because you can't always just be living in this like, you know, all is perfect and like
Because it still
No.
isn't.
It's so not perfect, but you know.
Exactly.
telling you
No,
the
that's so
girl journey is like rainbows and unicorns and we sing kumbaya.
Right.
Stuff. Like, you can run the other way because they are not like
right. Yeah, no, it's no, you're right. The spiritual journey is not it's not the easy road for sure. And you're right. People don't want to do the work. It's not easy looking at yourself and seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and to be by yourself. But that's the only way that you get through, because in the end, it's just you. I mean, you are your world. You are everything. Everything is you. And people say, "Oh, what are you going around like you're in your own little world?" Yeah, I am, because I am, quite frankly, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Right. Well, we've been on for like an hour and a half, and I want to be respectful of your time, especially Gypsy Mama, because I know she's a mama and she just got home from work and she was trying to eat before she came on. And so I want to make sure you get to spend time with your boo and your children. So let's make this let's try to do like come on with Gypsy Mama, Chrissy. Like if you could do this like once a month, that'd be so great.
I think so. That would be amazing. I would love that.
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
you
So
like back on my channel too. So
oh yeah, anytime, honey.
Yeah.
So before oh awesome. So before we get going, so Gypsy Mama, are you doing anything like are you having any kind of gift certificates? Can people get gift certificates for the holidays for your sessions? Are you doing any specials? Let me know. Tell the Soul Tribe what you've been up to and what services you have before you go.
yeah, right now I had like an in special for my aroma touch treatments. But yeah, I should do something for December for some distance healing, whether it be like sound frequencies.
Oh yeah.
Well, I incorporate sound frequency in all my sessions pretty much now, because I just feel that they're such a big part. I mean, for me, I love working with sound frequencies, so they're a big part.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think that's a great idea. I'll put something together for December for so anybody that reaches out, just let me know that you're part of the Soul Tribe, and I'll definitely give a discount off. And I love working and helping out with people, and whether it be readings or my AO scanner. I don't have it up here right now, but that's another frequencies that I work with. So
Yeah, she's so anyone who's watching, I'm sure you know Gypsy Mom. I'm sure you either got a reading with her or a healing. She does so many different things. So all the description to get in touch with Gypsy Mama, you guys all know she's been on the game way before I was, but this her website and her
I
YouTube channel's in the description.
I put her IG.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the
I'm off.
description
Excuse me, hold on. I had a frog in my throat. I like you, Gypsy Mom. I got off Instagram and I got off TikTok. I'm on Telegram a little bit, but Spirit wanted me to get off of social media because it was a cesspool for me, and I got a lot of trolls coming at me, and it was just I was spending too much time looking at my phone, too much, and it's just not good. So I'm just doing YouTube, and I still do like the Soul Tribe Telegram, helping each other, but I try to limit that. So awesome. Thank you. So follow her on Gypsy Mama. Now, Chrissy, we lost her again. She went to the next dimension. Oh, before you go, Gypsy Mama, and I'm so happy to have you. And I love you so much. You're such a wonderful person. You are so loving and kind. And like I said, every time I'm around you, it's like taking a Valium. You're just so calming.
Uh,
Before we go, Gypsy Mama, do you have any last words for the Soul Tribe? Anything you want to impart until we meet again?
mm, I think just finding joy in every day. However you can, just find something simple. Like I said, even like we talked about, like these are really hard times, so just give yourself that break. Just look around, find just three things that you can be grateful for. And just start, putting up those boundaries, taking care of yourself, and again, just the like, it's okay to say no.
I love that. I love that. How was the fifth dimension, Chrissy?
I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, everybody just froze. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And then I went to refresh the page, and then, oh well. You gotta worry.
So, Chrissy,
It's internet. Internet out here is crazy.
yeah, I almost jinxed you because at the beginning of the show, I was thinking, why Chrissy's internet is so crisp and clear, and it's so great, and then all of a sudden, bing, you're gone.
Yeah, next time, knock on wood.
I know, it's that internet. So Gypsy Mama gave her like last words of advice. So Chrissy, show us, since the holidays have come up, do you have some of your things to show us? So yeah, like the different
Oh, you want
stockings and
my little
stuff.
cards and things? Well,
So
I've been,
everybody
like,
knows that
busy
Chrissy
with
Spin has her book, and I think you have how many of them do you have left, honey?
I only have 4 of the hardback books left. Those ones you
Okay.
cannot get anymore because the paperback,
Okay.
I do have some. I did get some today. So if
This
you
is
want,
a paperback. This is awesome.
yeah, that's
But
a
you're
paperback.
gonna be doing like nice like gift bags with them and
Yeah,
like a whole like little gift
okay,
set.
so what I'm doing is I'm doing a Kirsten Kelly gift bag, okay? If you want if you buy a hardback book or a paperback book, just for the Soul Tribe, because I'm doing this over at Seabrook on Saturday for my book booth. But you guys are getting it for the cheaper price because I'm just like, it's a Soul Tribe, it's Christmas. I know people don't have money. So anyway, so what it will be is, so what I've been doing is, so like for instance, it will come in a one-of-a-kind bag that I make, okay?
Yeah.
You will get an autographed copy of my book, and you will get I made these really cool, they're bookmarks.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't even do it justice. You're gonna have to take pictures and put it like post it on like your on the YouTube channel on the about section. You know what I mean? And do like a community post or something. Because it doesn't do them justice. They're beautiful. She's been texting them to me. The gift bags are like, they're gorgeous. They look like they could be in a fancy smancy magazine. You know those magazines that cost too much money you see like on airplanes.
This is a wine bag I made.
Pretty, yeah. Those are so pretty.
But they're all one of a kind because I don't have I only have a few pieces of the material that I use. So like for instance, this is one of the note cards, but no two are the same. So because I don't have here's one of the cards I made.
It's so pretty. Yeah, you're gonna have to take pictures and put them in the community section. They're so pretty. They really are. They really are.
Yeah, this one I like. This one came out really.
That's really pretty. So all that. So if you're interested, because it's coming up for Christmas time, Chrissy's website is in the description. The Christy Kelly Chronicles and her YouTube channel.
Yes, I'll put everything in the YouTube channel. And what I'll do is like if you order everything. If you order from me by the 16th of December, I can get it out in time for Christmas. And it doesn't matter if you get it out, if you want it afterward, that's fine too. But just I guess let me know, indicate. Yeah. So I'll put everything in my YouTube community thing. And I'll put some pictures up there so you guys could see more of what it is. But yeah. So
awesome. And what's your last parting words for the Soul Tribe? soul family, before we leave this evening? Soul sister
I
Chrissy.
say just stay in your truth. Do not let anybody take your energy, and do not lower your energy just to get through the holidays. I mean, just, if you need to be alone, that's it, and you don't need to apologize for anything. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Do not apologize for anything. Stand strong in your truth, stand strong in your power, because we are very powerful beings, and it's the ego that is bringing us down, and we have to get out of that mindset. So that's what I would say and suggest.
That's beautiful. Well, I just want to say that because it's Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for you, my soul sister Chrissy. I'm thankful for you, my soul sister Gypsymama. I love you both very much. I'm thankful for everyone who's in the chat now watching, and I'm thankful for everyone who's watching in the replay. I'm
Yeah.
thankful that I found you all, and I am thankful that we are all alive today. What a time to be alive. It's the worst of times and the best of times. Like what the fuck is that? Forget it. It's like,
we're definitely in biblical times. I mean, there's just,
yes.
there's so many crazy things going on. It is amazing. And yes, and I'm grateful and thankful to all of you. I mean, Delphine and Yvonne and Jason, Double J, and Sarah Ashley. I mean, and the everybody at Light Warrior Network, the Soul Tribe. I mean, I honestly would not know what I would do without you guys. Seriously.
Yes. Love you. Grateful. Love you all. Love my brothers, Jason and Sarah. Love everyone.
Yep.
All right, folks. So the next time I'll be on will be Saturday night doing my tarot readings. I'll obviously be in the chat on Friday, and I'll be on with Jason on Sunday.
Yay.
And we will plan on doing at least a monthly with Gypsymama. I missed you so much. So this will be awesome, and then I'll go on her channel if she wants. And it's a done deal. It's wonderful that we have each other as soul sisters, because sometimes women can be not so nice, can be petty and jealous, and we are really good in the soul tribe. So I really appreciate all you, my sisters. I love you very much.
Love you too.
All right. So everyone have a fabulous Thanksgiving. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, if you're not, still have a fabulous day. Stay blessed. Give yourself a break. Know that you're loved, you're worthy. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Love you, Soul Tribe, Soul
Love
Family.
You guys.